think we've had a guest on the lower right in a while, have we?
Oh, we haven't.
Yeah. Who's usually on the lower right?
I've never used Zoom before. Surprised it's working so easily.
Yeah, I'm usually the one with all the problems.
There goes Jimmy's cave light.
Oh, hold on. Gotta fix. Oh, the finger.
I would get the finger. Yeah.
It's inevitable. What are we drinking there?
I have some delicious bourbon.
Jimmy drinking. Wow.
Do I have food in my tooth? I just ate some Chinese food.
Yes.
All right, good.
Say leave it in there.
Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to another edition of Livin' CRUDDY. I'm your host, Handsome Jimmy. I forgot to say last week. I'm joined, as always, by Chameleon, Lord Vinny Schrams, and our Lord and Savior, Gino Roy. This week's guest, all the way from the mystery land of Vinegar Syndrome. He's an actor, an adventurer, an admirer of people with alopecia. I want to welcome to the show, Tsantsa.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Very
joining.
happy to be here.
You do a ton of stuff. I was trying to catch up last night with what it was that everything that you do, and I'm sure we missed some stuff, or maybe I'm confused about things, but you were telling us that you are the hands-on guy at Vinegar Syndrome, which handles a lot of cool videos, but apparently you're also involved in some tattoo work. You have something to do with some movies, something to do with special effects, and I'm sure 10, 11 other things.
Vinegar Syndrome, I started with them about 3 years ago. I was actually doing artwork for films for their DVD covers for Unearthed. And it was a movie called Sheepskin, a werewolf movie. And I did the artwork for that, and come to find out the director lives here in Connecticut, and he's one of the restoration artists at Vinegar Syndrome. So we kind of hit it off together, and he got me in as kind of a temp guy at Vinegar Syndrome to help during their sales. And it kind of went from there. I ended up getting hired full time. I made a toy for them from Night Train to Terror. We did a limited edition,
cool.
hand sculpted figures. So that's kind of how it started there. And then I've slowly gotten, just from just a lowly shipping guy, just doing, putting slipcovers on movies. Now, I just making sure things run smoothly. And I have, a guy above me that, he does all the IT stuff, and the two of us kind of tag team everything to make it run smoothly. And then we have the guys upstairs that do the restoration work, and they make the stuff, and we get it in and get it out to you guys. So that's my basic deal. I started doing stuff for Pallbearer. I've been buying shirts from Pallbearer for a long time, and started realizing I was getting stuff from them literally weekly. No. And because this shit is so good. His shirts are absolutely amazing. Craig from Pallbearer, the owner, he was opening up a store out in Texas, so he needed somebody to do his East Coast conventions. So asked me and my wife to do it. That's kind of my connection to Pallbearer. And it's awesome. We get to travel all over and meet cool folks like Vinny. It started was doing conventions, the convention circuit.
Pallbearer does like extreme stuff, right? Is that?
Yeah, he does like a lot of the Italian horror. A lot of the Deadly Spawn was a newer thing he did. Like Cemetery of Terror, Zombie, the classics. He sticks to like the real meat of horror, the good stuff. That's what he tries to stay. When you see Pallbearer stuff, you always know it's his. It's like he has the same few guys that do all his artwork. So when you see his shit, you know right away it's a Pallbearer shirt or patch or whatnot. He has like he keeps the punk aesthetic going is really what it is.
What surprised me about Pallbearer, because I found out about them a couple of years ago, it's not just the artwork, but the particular movies in general. When I got on the site, I'm like, wait, there's a Let Sleeping Corpses Lie shirt, there's a Lamore shirt, some Coffin Joe shirts that I've never seen. So I bought about 5 shirts immediately. Right. And saw you guys at the convention, and I bought about 5 shirts, and you were the only booth I kept hitting up. And the artwork's fantastic. It's just beautiful. And
that's what happens. His stuff is so great. Like at all the conventions, I noticed the same people like just keep coming and hanging out at the booth, buying shit all weekend long. People just keep getting stuff, and it happens when we do the Vinegar Syndrome thing too. It's the same. People want to come, they want to hang out, they want to chat about the movies, hang out, and it's a blast. It's a total blast being able to work with both of these incredible companies.
Yeah, there's so much stuff here.
Yeah,
the good stuff, and that he's branching off too. Now he's doing a lot of every month or two. He has Distinctive Dummies do a limited run of 100 of figures, like a 9.5-inch sculpted figures. They're freaking awesome. But he's done Ralphus from Bloodsucking Freaks was one of them that he did. He's done stuff from Zombie. They're freaking incredible. He actually did it from Rocktober Blood. His stuff is awesome, and he's growing and growing, and it's nice because for a while people just weren't getting it. And I honestly think he should really thank Joe Bob, because Joe Bob Drive-In really turned people on to the Italian horror before where people just weren't catching on to it in the more mainstream thing. And now, I mean, he can't keep the stuff. People, as soon as he's, put stuff out, people are grabbing it all up. All the Fulci stuff sells like crazy.
So it's picked up in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, big time, big time. And that Prowler shirt, and that's brand new that he just did. And that
That's my
Prowler
next purchase.
Where did I see that?
hell yeah, it's freaking awesome.
That's more colorful than the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing he does, that he just pops a couple like real bright colors in some of his stuff, and it's not enough to make it that, I don't know how to say it without, it's not cheesy, but you know what I mean? It's still pops, and it's still gnarly and gritty looking, but it's also bright, and some of his new stuff glows in the dark too. He's doing a lot of glow in the dark ink, which is a super cool thing.
That artistic style that I think was made popular back in the day by Buzzhead and those guys.
Yep.
The old Accused album covers.
Oh yeah, I was just listening to the
before
Accused today. Oh yeah, Martha Splatterhead.
Yep, Martha Splatterhead.
Yep.
That stuff. I'm trying to pull up a thing here now if I can get
Pull your thing, man.
pull my thing up. Have you guys heard of it?
Yes.
What do we know about those guys?
I'm pretty sure he does all the Suspiria stuff. He's got there's a ton of Suspiria. Demons, I think, is his other big one that I know they got the license to.
Yeah. Well, they also stole my Boat Frankenstein design.
Did they really?
Yes, they did. And the catchphrase stuff that I used. It was a design that I've been selling for 10 years now. And all of a sudden it's popped up another version of the exact same thing on. Let me see if I can pull this up. It just sucks that you put in the time to do something and then.
You grimy bastard.
Here we go. I'm going to go back into the screen share again here.
Oh, here we go.
That shit sucks, dude. As an artist, like that's so shitty.
See this thing?
Yeah.
Now this is awesome. A terrible version of the one I did. That the Fright Choice, Good for America are both my catchphrases. The picture of Frankenstein, Dracula, and Circle. I don't know about this red and white thing. On blue, it looks ridiculous. But the old, you see the old versions here of kind of what you can see it on Piggers. That one says the Fright Choice for America, 2016. So I mean, this is the design that's been around for a long time, and these guys came up and just decided that they were going to do it. They looked at that design and said, "Oh, we're just going to do that."
They ever said anything to you about it?
Actually, Cassie went on Google and was looking at the reviews, and these guys have like just hundreds of terrible. They've been taking orders and not delivering. I mean, one after another 1-star reviews of they took my money, I never got my shirt. That kind of shit. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that path when we're talking about your Pallbearer, but it was similar.
No,
it's
all good, because I mean that's honestly that's part of what goes on in this industry. You know what I mean? And you've got these good companies that really work hard, do the right thing by their customers and all this shit. And then you've got companies like that. Somehow they still continue to do their shit while they rip people off. And
I had no idea.
I'll never understand it. Yeah, it's crazy. And we see it, with Vinegar Syndrome. The same thing. We'll release something, and within a month later, you'll see 3 different versions of that film being released. And we didn't even know, that I can't really say titles legally, but these companies will sell off the rights behind our back to other companies without us knowing about it. And all of a sudden,
I can see that stuff going on. And again, I'm not saying I have the rights to use Frankenstein or Dracula or anything like that. I'm sure that at this point it's a pretty vague deal, but the taglines and stuff were my taglines. So
yeah, and it's something you did. So I get it. It's bullshit. It really is. And
so Justin, you have all the inside scoop when everything gets going on at Pallbearer and Vinegar, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's where all my questions are coming from.
Yeah, it's tough too. It's really hard. I can't even tell my closest friends some of the stuff. Like I can tell my wife now because she works with us now, so she's now at Vinegar Syndrome, so she's in on it all. But before it was like we sign NDAs now. Like we didn't even it used to just be like a big hush hush thing, but now we actually have the paperwork.
Right.
Because you've got Dawn of the Discs who he pre-drops shit all the time, and no one knows where he gets his information from. But
everything I'm going to ask has already been posted by you guys. I just want to double check. So what's this thing with subscribe? What does that entail?
Oh yeah, so the subscription's pretty cool. You can do a half year, you can do a full year subscription where you get money off on the titles every month. You're guaranteed our releases for the month. You get those. You'll get you'll get our VSAs depending on the month if we do them or not. It's a whole package that you get, so you don't have to race to get the stuff, especially if there's when the Black Friday sale comes. There's a whole bunch of stuff that people are waiting for the sale to go live, and in an instant gone. There'll be 200 pieces left, and within 3 seconds it's sold out. So if you're a subscriber, you don't have to deal with any of that. You're getting it all. The price fluctuates year yearly, depending on, this year it went up a little bit due to the COVID stuff. Materials were hard to get. Tons of delays this year due to, the materials to make cases for the Blu-rays. The actual disc materials were shortage. So it was a tough year, but we actually did very well. Everybody staying home. People bought more movies than they bought anything else.
So I noticed on the website right before December, all your titles were up there, and all of a sudden, just December only, there's a different kind of spotlight your partners. So when December's over, you're going to bring back the spotlight on the other releases as well?
Yep. The partner label thing was, it started off kind of small. We had 1 or 2 partner labels. We started with AGFA, and it was doing really well. And our archivist, he kind of switched out of the archive position and started working with the partner labels, because he used to work for movie theater. Brain farting. He used to work for a really cool movie theater that does 35 millimeter, the Alamo. There it is. And so he got a lot of connections doing that. And so he's become our partner label guy. And now we've got so many partner labels to really showcase them. We had to give them their own month, and it's working out really well.
Good.
And then, once the month's over, we go back to our normal stuff, and then we'll release a couple partner labels with our own stuff. But we try to give them. It's really cool because a lot of these companies nobody's ever heard of. So it's really nice to give them a showcase to us. It's killer.
Now, for those that are watching at home, Vinegar Syndrome, it's one of those labels for Blu-ray and DVD. A few people watching already know. For those that don't, you have your horror fans will go right to. Over the years, they've gone to either Scream Factory or Arrow or Blue Underground, but now Vinegar Syndrome is like, here we are. And I've watched the progression all this time. You're starting with these small nudie films, and all of a sudden they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But what surprised me is you guys picked up Censor, and because I've been waiting to see who's going to grab this movie, and I haven't seen it yet. This big artsy horror movie, and Vinegar is the label that's presenting it, and I can't wait to get this.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We were all super pumped to when we found out we were getting it. A couple of us had seen it already, and we couldn't believe it. Like when we got word downstairs that we got it, it was like, holy shit, we're doing that. And I don't have if you've seen the case for it. Yeah, it's got its own little slipcover inside, and then like a side loading box, and it's the artwork on it's outstanding. We're very proud of being able to do that release.
I've been waiting to see this movie. You can stream it, but no, I wanted physical copy to have in my hands, and then kept checking when's it coming out, and all of a sudden you guys are doing it. That blew my mind. I can't wait to see this.
The amount of people that were into it too, like I didn't realize that many people were waiting for it. It was kind of like an explosion when we told people we were doing it. So we were very, very, very psyched. That, like, Ebola syndrome was another one that when we said we were finally able to tell people we were doing it, it was like, holy shit, Ebola syndrome. Like, that was like one of the hardest movies to get your hands on back in the day, Here's
a question that I didn't see on your website, but I saw posted on Facebook, and I'm hoping it's true. And if it's not, we can just take this out. For next year, I saw
that's one of those things I really can't tell you. I wish.
You guys know I love that movie, so
I'm also a huge fan. I've got the VHS sitting downstairs on my shelf, so it's I wish I could give you a yes or a no on it.
Well, if it's yes, I'll be the first to buy it. So.
Hell yeah, man! Hell yeah! Yeah, that was I can say it was one that we in the past we've definitely shown interest in making it a part of our library. So, though as far as I could go saying anything about it, but
obviously somebody leaked it and said something on Facebook. So.
Yeah, and that's that stuff. It's crazy. I don't know where people get their information. Sometimes it's insane because we've got a really small crew at work, so we know it's not coming from us. So it's like, where the fuck does it come from? It's crazy.
Well, how does it work to recruit those titles? I mean, I know there's you got competitors that are doing the same thing right now. I mean, I know there's a couple of them out there.
Yeah. A lot of times it's almost like an auction. Everybody puts bids in. That's one way we get them. Another way is from our own vault of films that we have in there. We'll pull from that. Sometimes somebody will call us and say, hey, my grandfather died and we were going through his house, and in his attic we found all these reels of film. We don't know what it is. Do you guys want to come check it out? And one of us will go down there and see what it is and find out it's a fucking gem that's been missing for 25 years. And that's happened quite a few times. And then the whole thing with New York Ninja, that was something that was sitting in our vault, unfinished film, no audio track to be found. And Curtis, our restoration artist, he created an entire story for it and dialogue.
Wow.
And put it together himself. Like, it wasn't put together. It was just reels and reels and reels of raw footage. And I I still can't wrap my brain around how he put that thing together and made an actual. Have any of you guys seen it yet?
No, but Red Letter Media just did a whole thing on it a couple days ago.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
they did such a great job with it too.
And how long did it take him to do that then?
My sense of time is so screwy. I say about 3 years, I think 2 or 3 years. Yeah. It was it took him months just to take the footage off of the reels and scan it, and then sit there and go through it, painstaking, picking it apart and putting it in order to edit it, to create it, and to watch their lips, to try to get the words to fit even slightly. Because when you'll see it, it's not totally overdubbed where the words don't even go with it. I mean, it's matching their mouths. So it's like, again, I don't understand how he did it. He's a really brilliant guy. His name's Curtis. He's fantastic. He's done a couple of
ultimate labor of love.
Yeah.
Well, the bigger picture of taking small parts where you're trying to identify what words they are and making it match up versus the larger picture of this has got to be a cohesive story.
Right.
It has to be pretty complicated. I mean, it's a juxtaposition of stuff that most people don't have to deal with.
Right.
And we do
It's
goofy
crazy
stuff like that from time to time. I can imagine exactly what would go into that. That's definitely.
You don't ever worry about the words matching the mouths, Gene.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see sometimes that they're sitting there and they will try to establish what could possibly be saying, and then adapt that into the bigger picture. And then you have this cohesive story going on. That's a lot of complicated stuff to put together for sure.
Yeah, and every now and again you can see where he would catch little things, and I think he used that to kind of build a little bit of a framework. And then they had to hunt down John Liu, the main guy who put the film together originally, and he was hiding out in Vietnam, wanted nothing to do with it. And I mean, it was just so crazy. And then getting all these genre actors to do all the voices in it was really cool. Michael Berryman is one of them, Linnea Quigley. They got some great people involved with it. And then they found a music video that was made by a guy named Brooklyn Bob. Early 80s, he made a music video for this movie, and it just, he made a single, it fell into obscurity, and one of our guys found it. So that plays at the end of the movie, and hopefully we're going to put out a single of that eventually. But it's crazy, like all this stuff that just fell into place to make the movie was very cool.
I tell you what, when I came to Monster Mania, and you guys were at Vinegar, so I stopped at the booth. I must have picked about 8 films from you guys. We've got to talk about this. We got to talk about Devil's Story.
Oh my God, yeah, Devil's Story is a freaking crazy batshit mess.
My God. Oh boy. I sat there watching the whole thing. This is terrible, but it's got its own charm. And what made it better was the fact that you guys had the featurette when people were talking about the film, and I can't remember who said it, but somebody said it's basically like a 12-year-old got a video camera and shot shit. When you got a 5-minute non-stop unedited scene to monster vomiting blood, 5 minutes. Let's just throw a fucking mummy in this movie. It's so bad, but it's hilarious. It's great, and this is the best pick from Monster Mania.
That makes me happy because I feel that way.
Yeah,
it takes a special person to enjoy it too, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you've got to really have a great sense of humor and to be able to appreciate something like that.
It's so bad, but at the same time, it's like, this is freaking hilariously bad.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it got like 50-50 hate too on Facebook. Like, after we released it, people were either like, it's the coolest, greatest, batshit crazy thing, or people were like, this is the worst fucking thing they've ever put out. But yeah, I love it.
It just reminded me like Jess Franco's Scraps, basically. And I'd seen the poster for years.
Yeah, that was one where like a lot of us had heard of it or seen just really bad VHS, copies of it back when we were young, and you couldn't even tell what was going on. They were so bad too. So to see one done, now all totally restored, it
looks sparkling. It's great.
Oh, it's so good. Bad. I'm so glad you liked it or hated to love it.
And I picked up Grave Robbers too, and just like, okay, so
we're hoping to get more stuff from him in the future, and more Mexican films as well. Mexican horror. Good. Yeah, because there's a lot of great Mexican horror that people just never have heard of. There's like whole just blocks of this stuff has just been sitting down there, and no one's touched it. No one's done anything with it. So,
because I'm a big fan of the 50s and 60s stuff from Mexico, but
I mean, they did some really brutal stuff too. Like there's some really great Mexican slasher films where they really, really go all out with the gore and some really ultra violent stuff. So there's some future titles that we're looking at from down there that I think people are going to really flip the fuck out over.
Alarma originated out of Mexico, didn't it? The old magazine.
Yes. Oh man, I have piles of that. that. The old newspaper zine. Yeah.
That shit's a little too real for me, but I know Jimmy.
Yeah, that was the first. Some of the first real gore stuff I saw as a kid was from Alarma.
Oh yeah, no, I had a buddy that collected that stuff, and he wasn't looking at scat movies. He was looking at Alarma magazine. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. That Alarma is pretty disturbing. Scat video.
I was a funeral director for about 5 years when I was in my early 20s. So the gore, the real death stuff was something I was like, never really bothered me. I had family members who were in the funeral business. So it was like, it's too serious. I couldn't wear a suit every day. Had to cover up tattoos, all that stuff. It was just,
right.
And dealing with sad people all the time just sucked. If I could have just stayed in a prep room and embalmed people all the time, I would have been all right with it. But working with movies and tattooing people is way more fun.
Okay, so I ask a lot of guests this. What was that moment in your life, in your childhood, that said horror and monsters? What was it that said?
My mom let me watch it was Godzilla films during the day. Always saw Godzilla, regular monster stuff, Universal monsters, that sort of thing. But then my mom started working nights as a nurse, and my dad was like, come downstairs. I got some better movies to show you. And the first one I ever saw was I Spit on Your Grave. He showed me that. I think I was seven or 8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was that. Then The Exorcist was right after that.
Oh, God.
And then Chainsaw Massacre. Those were the first 3. Yeah, I Spit on Your Grave was just a fantastic film.
You want to split a room, put on that movie.
Yeah.
There's definitely people that are like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
Yep.
And to be honest, every time I see it, I still question, like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
Right.
What is the matter with
hardcore.
Yeah, you feel filthy after watching it. I remember as a kid seeing it and being so horrendously disturbed. And you could, I've had people say, your dad showing you that when you were that age, that was abuse. I was like, no, it wasn't abuse. I mean, he was showing me horror, real horror. And that's how I look at it. That was like, show me something fucking absolutely horrible. It always stuck with me. Meeting Camille Keaton for the first time and telling her about that, she actually thought it was very kind of cool and interesting that my dad showed me that at such a young age. Colleges have done, full classes on that film. There's so much about it. It's got, it's not just gore and filth for filth's sake. There's really a lot to it.
American movies, they'll sugarcoat. The European movies, they don't sugarcoat shit. So if you're pissed and you're mad and you're upset, good. You're supposed to be. He's making a statement here. The extended rape scenes in I Spit on Your Grave, and I talked about this on the show. You're supposed to get mad. You're supposed to be upset. You're not supposed to be excited by it. The revenge comes.
Right.
It's justified.
Yeah. And you're supposed to be psyched about that. Like, fucking kill her. She's kicking ass.
Online, it's gotten to a point where you can't even go on a site without saying, hey, I just want to look at, big boobs. And I'm saying, hey, look at this giraffe fucking this girl. No. But that's
right. Yeah.
It's, like I said, that movie is supposed to.
What sites are you on, Vinny? Jesus.
No, I'm telling you, normal sites will do that. I'm like, why is this happening?
Garage porn?
You're involved in movie making as well, right?
Yeah, I got an acting bug a bunch of years ago and just decided one day I was like, I want to be a fucking actor. I've always wanted to do it. I just dove into it. I took an acting class. I got some small parts in some indie films, did some traveling, and then I got a small part on the show Gotham, and it was really cool. And I actually got lines and spent a month and a half doing that. And then when the show aired, they cut my lines out, and the only scene I'm in is I'm in a scene where there's a fight with a bunch of like a gang. We get in a fight with like Donald Logue, who's like one of my favorite actors. So it was really cool getting to work with him. But yeah, you tell your whole family and all your friends, holy shit, I'm gonna be on this season 5 episode, blah blah blah. It's gonna be awesome. And then you're watching it and you're like, oh no, they cut everything out. So I learned that lesson. So. Yeah, I was told later, like, never ever ever tell anybody about your scene until it airs. And then you can go, hey, go watch this. And so I learned a valuable lesson with that.
McNasty was in Return of the Jedi, right? Ewok?
Did I read it correctly that you were part of the Don't Fuck in the Woods movie?
My wife and I invested in it. In the second one. I loved the first one, super excited about the sequel, and we invested in it, and it finally just started doing the festival circuit recently. So super happy about that. Okay. I still actually haven't seen the sequel yet.
Okay, so we have this watch party thing that we do. Lately has been every night, but last night we aired that one off of the cast channel, the first one.
Yep.
I couldn't establish, check on it. And we watched the movie. Everybody was mad at me. Definitely, I mean, the creature looked like, it actually looked like one of the Jasons, like the one from the one where the girl had the mental powers.
Oh, part 7? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
He
yeah.
looked a little
yeah.
bit like that, but like a burnt up version of that thing.
Yeah.
I didn't expect a creature in that movie at all. I thought it was just going to be some guy walking around killing people. But
And the second one has more like, instead of just the one creature, there's like little larvae and shit like that. And
I
lots
can
of
see where
boobs.
they have stuff to build on there. I mean, there was definitely enough nudity to keep, the dude crowding.
yeah.
That's for sure. I was,
Yeah.
I don't know where they recruit those girls to film it. Yeah, you're going to be like naked throughout the entire movie.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that much in it, to be honest. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. I was actually going to watch that with my kids and was like, nope, guess we're not watching this.
When we were researching you a little bit yesterday, a day or two, do that, was that you're a big fan of The Deadly Spawn.
Oh my God, yes. Insanely. It's when people give you that question, what's your all-time favorite film? Mine's Deadly Spawn. I love it.
What is it about Deadly Spawn?
Yeah, the start off with the creature effects. I mean, there's never been a creature like that in my opinion. He's just, or she actually, it's a girl. She's just such a badass monster. The teeth, John Dodds from Night Beast, he created that creature, and the amount of work he did back then to create something that moved like that. They lit it on fire. All the little baby spawn when they're wriggling through the water, he created these little tracks. It was everything he did was innovative for that film. In the storyline, yeah, creature comes from outer space, starts killing people in a town or whatnot. It's been done a million times, but there's just something about that movie.
There's something different about that. And I'll be honest, what's unique with me in that movie is that is the very first, when I got my very first VHS.
Yeah.
That was the first movie I rented because we're going back to, I mean, obviously I was into horror movies and all that stuff before that, but 6 or whatever, I went down to the Video Extron on Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm Beach and got my card to rent movies. And the first thing I rented was The Deadly Spawn because of that cover.
Yeah, I used to see it all the time in Cinefantastique magazine.
Yeah.
Like 2 years, I'm like, when's this movie coming out? How am I going to see this movie? And then disappeared. And then video stores, all of a sudden, there was Return of the Alien, Deadly Spawn. I guess that's it. So yeah, I rented that too.
Yeah, they changed the title multiple times. They put that title in so it would draw people from obviously Aliens. It got a foreign release title called The Texas Hill Killings, which the crazy thing about that is there's already a movie called The Texas Hill Killings. But when they sold it to foreign distribution, foreign guys just decided to throw that title on it. And
that's crazy.
I'm working on a documentary for it. So I'm slowly,
nice.
COVID kind of put a big old skirk into it, but slowly but surely I'm getting back on track now so I can actually start traveling to do the interviews and stuff, because I don't want to do the online interviews. I tried to do it not using Zoom. I used a different app or whatnot, and it just looked like shit. It looked awful. Really nice people. Everybody involved with that film, they are just the most down to earth, awesome people. They never expected the movie to become what it is. I'm still trying to get my hands on. There's not much left prop wise from it. There's a few of the little baby spawns out there, and I badger John Dodds about it all the time. He's got one. I'm like, dude, you made it. Come on, it's sitting on your shelf. Let me have it. I'll put it in a glass case. I'll put lights on it. Like, let me have it. I badger him, but he sent me a bag of teeth that he made back from when he was making the movie. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, I'll explain how the quiz portion goes. 3 songs that I have pulled some lyrics for. I'll tell you part of the song, a couple of the lyrics, and you tell me what the subsequent line is for that song and tell me what the song is. And you have 2 lifelines here you can reach out to, and those 2 lifelines would be Vinny and Handsome Jimmy. They can help you with these.
All right.
And it's rock and roll stuff. It's not like going to be any crazy shit that you wouldn't have heard.
Yeah, no Ace of Beats.
Relative.
It's the next line, the name of the band, and the name of the song, right?
Yeah, when I get to that part, it's 3 lines from the song. Tell me the 4th line, name of the band, name of the song.
All right.
And if you don't know, you get to pick one of these 2 guys.
All right.
You know
Lucky
Vinny
you.
already. Jimmy's the one with the pictures of himself behind him. And I'll give you a hint. Vinny's specialty is movies, where I think Jimmy's specialty should be music. It doesn't always work that way.
All right.
So the first one, I think Jimmy can probably get this. I'm not sure Vinny would, but I don't know how much of a fan of these bands you are. We'll just go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, the lyrics are for this song: she was standing by the Space Invaders, so I said, can I see you later? Yeah, we went for a little spin. What is the next line, name of the band, name of the song?
She was standing by the Space Invaders.
She was standing by the Space Invaders, so I said, can I see you later? Yeah, we went for a little spin. If you don't know it, you can reach out to these guys for it.
It's the Ramones.
It is the Ramones.
Down to the Holiday Inn.
That's correct. What's the name of the song?
7-Eleven.
It is 7-Eleven. See that?
Nice.
He got it without you guys even have to get involved.
Yeah, I know, right?
1 for 1.
Woo!
I think that was the hardest one of the 3.
Yeah.
So, okay, the second one. I've got your picture. I've got your picture. I'd like a million of them over myself. I want a doctor to take your picture.
All right, Jimmy.
Is it the Vinny know it? Vinny knows it.
So I
Oh,
can
shit.
look into your insides as well. Learning Japanese by the Vapors.
That's correct.
That's it.
2 for 2. 2 for 2. Look at that. We're blowing through these. Awesome. This one, I don't know. I think this is a common song for people who like this artist. So we'll go there. I've come on a few years from my Hollywood highs, the best of the last, the cleanest star they ever had. I'm stiff on my legend, the films that I made.
Damn it.
Got
know
life.
it. It's. Yeah.
The last line is the key, I think, for that one.
I know it's Bowie, right?
The films that I made.
Forget that I'm 50. I gotta get paid. I just got paid. It's Bowie.
Yes, that's good. You're close enough. Forget that I'm 50. You just got paid. What's the name of the song?
Oh, fuck. That's right. That's right. God damn.
Great song.
That was a hard one.
The words don't sound like the song. And the complaint we always get is, well, why don't you sing it the way you do it in the song?
Yeah,
Probably
you
could
give
have
it away,
done that.
Why not?
And go.
Yeah, Jimmy, why didn't you sing that? All right, we're on a roll here. We're blowing through these. We did all the music ones 3 for 3. All right, let's see how well you do on these movies.
All right.
First one is This House, the Land, the Way We Live, Nothing for Nothing. My followers who pay for this do it out of fear, and I do it out of fear also. It's part of the price. I'll give you a hint, this is a black and white movie, and it's considered a classic. And you got lifelines if you don't.
Benny, I don't have a clue on this one.
The Old Dark House.
You got you got anything, Jimmy? I know Jimmy doesn't. Okay.
I don't know shit.
Give Vinny a second here. Let me read it again.
Son of Frankenstein.
No. You sure you don't want to revise your answer?
The Old Dark House.
No, it's not a Universal movie.
Helter Skelter.
Okay. Well, it's Carswell from Curse of the Demon.
Oh, damn it.
And Jimmy's like, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that movie. It's not in Star Wars.
That's a tough one.
Star Wars.
All right. Well, I think I would have gotten that one. I would definitely get the next one. The last one is a tough one. I don't know, but you might get it. Next one is, it's a brief one. Set him to running. That's the quote. Who says that and what is the movie? Set him to running. Vinny should get this because we've said this same quote 100 times in the watch party.
It's Witchfinder General.
It is Witchfinder General. Awesome. And of course, played by...
Oh, fuck.
I'm brain farting it. Oh, come on. I know this. Jimmy, you're right there in front of my face. Go ahead.
Vinny knows.
Vinny knows. I don't know.
The Vincent Price or Herbert Lom or...
It is Vincent Price.
It
Yes.
is Vincent Price. That's right.
Vinny P.
It's 1 of 2 for the movies. The last one here. Let me read this. Try to not to stumble over myself.
I
They don't seem to make the fine ceramics of the great apes for some reason. They are our nearest, dearest relations, you know, the great apes, but they never left the proverbial Garden of Eden like we did. Did you know that he's a vegetarian? And the hint that I'll give you is that if you get this wrong, you will forever hate yourself.
Oh, no.
It doesn't help.
Yeah, because it's fucking Deadly Spawn.
It is the Deadly Spawn.
It's Judith Mays.
I was shocked that there was even a quote from that available to use. So, all right. So.
I'm like, why do I know that one so well?
I got a little poker face there.
Awesome. So you got 5 of 6 of these, which is very good.
These are tough ones. This is awesome.
You did really well.
The music ones are pretty hard, yeah.
The
You
music
guys
ones
pulled
are
them-
super tough.
You guys pulled them right out of your ass, so you did pretty
That's
good.
right. Boom.
This last part is, do you remember back in the day when they had books called Mad Libs? You remember that?
Of them, they just came out with a Godzilla Mad Libs recently.
Oh, really? I have to get that. But
Yeah.
we do our own version of it. We wrote a story for you, and then we ask you the word types, and you tell us the word types, and then Jimmy will read back the story after we collect the words from you. You up for that?
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll start collecting these words. I need a physical activity of some sort.
Stripping.
They're a good start.
All right, I need a body part.
Big toe.
Another body part.
Neck.
A nonsense word. Any kind of nonsense word.
Glibble-glorf.
Blibble. Oh, I spelled blibble. Is it blibble?
Blibble.
Glorf.
Gee, get it right.
Jesus, come on.
You know, I'm completely deaf, so
Huh?
exactly. Jimmy can correct it if I got it wrong on the thing. So
Huh?
Don't ask for a
something
vegetable.
long, something very long.
My dick. You knew I was going to say.
A color,
Blue.
a facial feature,
Upper lip.
a number, any number.
666.
A body part,
Intestine.
a measurement of liquid,
A liter.
an item of clothing,
Pantaloons.
a terrible 90s band,
Nickelback.
a type of local business,
Asian massage.
a creature that lives in the water,
Octopus.
a zoo animal, any zoo animal.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, giraffe.
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 Went there.
Giraffe. Sorry.
He's going to say
Giraffe!
That's how you pronounce it.
a bodily orifice.
I mean, I know where I want to go with that.
You can
Throat.
say anything. This is not a family show.
He said
Yeah,
throat.
throat.
Oh, throat. Yeah. See, now I'm deaf. I'll sit here looking like,
Repeat.
okay, throat. Something that old people do.
Fart.
A food that nobody likes.
Brussels sprouts. I actually like Brussels sprouts, so they're actually pretty good.
But most people don't particularly like.
Finger again.
You saw a finger.
An old television show.
I Love Lucy.
An old lady's first name.
Edith.
A female body part.
Labia majora.
Better than the menorah.
Right.
Another old lady name.
Ethel. They all start with E.
Mm-hmm.
Old Ethel. 3 consecutive digits, 3 numbers that are 1 digit long.
493.
I think we just got his PIN number.
There we go. Awesome.
Oh
Mission
shit!
accomplished.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. God damn it!
Justin's best friend
Oh,
in
my
high
luggage.
Yeah.
Justin's best friend in high school.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones!
I
Mike
went to
Jones.
school with a guy named Mike Jones. He got a contract with the Cincinnati Reds and then got his neck busted riding a motorcycle, and they canceled his contract. He was a great
Oh, that's
baseball player.
Brutal.
A 70s girly magazine.
Swank.
Lame sport. Sport that sucks.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, sorry. Anyone likes
Wow,
baseball?
it doesn't bother me.
I just can't. I can't hang.
An offensive bathroom scent. Say
Linen.
linen?
Infecting turd.
Linen. Yeah.
Linen. Okay. Something found in an unflushed toilet.
Lemon.
Old uterus.
That's a horrible find.
Wow. Depends on whose.
Depending on what you were looking for.
That's the name of my band, man.
Old uterus is old uteri.
Old uteruses is.
A funny word for penis.
John Thomas.
All right.
A number.
Any number. 9.
Number 9. Number 9.
No.
Oing.
Male body part. We're getting closer here.
Papa Booey.
Male body part.
Yeah, male body part.
Taint.
Taint this, taint that.
Taint your bowls. Taint your ass.
Fruit that you have to peel, plural.
Nectarines.
Another number.
8.
A classic
Horrible.
monster actor.
Boris Karloff.
Arlo?
Peter North.
A place that's far away.
Mars.
Another old lady first name.
Martha.
Oh.
A 70s car make model.
Buick Century. Weren't there Centuries in the 70s?
Sure.
I think there was.
How long is this story?
Another fruit that you have to peel, plural.
Barry Manilow.
Don't have to deal with it.
Sorry.
A durian? That's that smelly, spiky fruit?
Durian.
Durian.
A male body part.
Glutes.
A bad word.
Bad word.
Yeah, a real bad word.
Cunt.
A planet.
Pluto.
A year in the future.
2069.
Right. Well, I think that's all of them. Let me just run through this.
Oh boy.
So if I don't get everyone, Jimmy will get mad at me.
Do I get very upset?
Yes, he gets very upset. Never mind. He's
I'm
not the one
professional.
that
I have standards.
I can't hear you, Jimmy. You got that microphone?
What?
Let's say he gets mad if I miss one word, but he isn't the one that has to actually write this shit on the fly.
That's true. I know. Yeah. Keep that job.
What are you using this from? Like, do you have one that you write these and then add to them, or?
Yeah, usually the day of the interview, I'll spend about an hour writing a story and then put it in. And we just lucked into the fact that some of these are kind of funny.
That's freaking great. That's awesome.
Right. It is mailed to Jimmy. Have you got it yet?
I do.
Whenever you're ready.
Yep. Just let me make sure I can read it without my glasses.
Oh, boy.
I need the glasses.
I have them here, but
Put them on.
Look what happens. I get a reflection.
Oh, well. You're fine
Instead, I
if you
just
look.
blew it up like an old person on my screen. Are you guys ready? Can you hear me okay?
I got to pull mine up to make sure you don't skip the lines here. So let's.
I will do my best.
All right. Let's do this.
Justin battles the deadly fat spawn. One morning, Justin woke up early and went for a strip in the hills near his home. He stretched his big toe and gave his neck a good workout. As he jogged down his favorite path, he noticed a steaming burnt hole in the ground with a glowing red rock trapped in the cavity. This must be a space meteor from the planet Glibbleglor. He picked up his dick and poked at the meteor. He poked and poked, and eventually the object squirted a huge glob of blue goo into Justin's upper lip. Justin fell to the ground, writhed in pain, passed out, and slept for 666 hours. When he woke, the goo had enveloped his entire intestines. Justin started off for the local hospital. He vomited the entire way. A liter of toxic goo seeped out of his pantaloons, and Justin burst through the door and shouted, "My Nickelback t-shirt is ruined! I have a horrible headache, and there is evidence a space creature is gestating inside my body. Sir, this is an Asian massage, not an emergency room. I'm going to have to ask you." It didn't matter. Justin collapsed to the floor, and the horrible creature that resembled a cross between an octopus and a giraffe squeezed out of his throat and scooted swiftly to the back door of the business and disappeared into the alleyway. Not far away, a group of old ladies were having a fart party. They sipped on cups of hot herbal tea, nibbled on Brussels sprout sandwiches, and dished about their favorite episodes of I Love Lucy. Little did they know they were about to be devoured by slithering meteor monsters. The old girls gabbed away, completely unaware of the celestial danger lurking nearby. Searching for her reading glasses, Edith opened her purse, revealing a horrible creature. The monster sprang forth and bit her right on the labia majora. People. Ethel lay bleeding on the floor, bitten repeatedly by the many-toothed monster. Ladies all around the room were covered in granny gore. It was not a pretty sight. One old lady, just clinging to life, reached for her phone. A landline phone with a giant button for poor vision. She dialed the 3 numbers for emergency help. 493. She had indeed forgotten the number for 911. All the ladies of the party were dead. Sans, of course, the one locked away in the bathroom. Just across the street lived Justin's best high school friend, Mike Jones. And that's just where the creatures were headed next. It was starting to rain and water rushed into the basement. The creatures slipped into the dank old cellar and started to nest behind a huge pile of Swank magazine that Justin had left there during a sleepover in 1988. Mike Jones had just arrived home from baseball practice and hopped into the shower. He reached for a bar of linen soap and without realizing it grabbed one of the monster spawn. Mike Jones only noticed the creature as it bit hard onto his wiener. Blood swirled down the drain along with copious amounts of old uteruses. Mike Jones lay naked and sobbing, being savaged by an army of slippery, toothy space monsters. If only Justin were here. He knows all about deadly spawns and how to stop them. With labored breath, Mike Jones reached for the phone, scrolled contacts, and found the entry that read J. John Thomas Wood, and pressed call. Just as the phone rang through to the other end, the door bursted open to reveal a monstrous 7-foot-tall spawn with 9 heads and 1,000 rotten teeth. It bit Mike Jones' head off and tossed the body out the window. Justin realized something was amiss when his old friend would not answer back. Though he was in pain from the earlier alien assault, he knew he would have to fight through it to learn the fate of his longtime friend. He pulled himself up, tied a wooden splint to his taint, and made his way towards Mike Jones's house. Back at the old ladies' party, the bathroom door finally pushed open, revealing the sole remaining granny. A sexy one at that. Black stockings, stiletto boots, slip skirt, and a push-up bra, supporting the sweetest pair of saggy, deflated nectarines, and a purse stacked full of 8-inch sex toys, along with her favorite German handgun. She wanted revenge for her party friend, and she would not be denied. Inside Mike Jones's house, Justin, preparing to go to war with space invaders, his secret weapon was a rubber Karloff prop mask filled with enough flash powder to blow the monsters all the way to Mars. It was a good plan, but he knew he would need help to pull it all off. Just then, the front door swung open, and there was the old girl ready to join the battle. I'm the cougar with the Luger, Martha Century. The granny with the fanny, the frau with the pow. Who were you expecting anyway? Jimmy's mom? Immediately, they were surrounded by spawn. It was terrible. It was a moving mountain of deadly teeth. Justin placed the prop head device into the mouth of the main creature and only needed to stretch far enough, plug in the cord, and detonate it. But it would not reach. Martha Century knew she would have to sacrifice herself, so she yanked off her sexy top and started beating the creatures with her long, ropey durian, strapping them long enough for Justin to shout, "Suck my glutes, you alien cunt holes," and detonate the device, blasting everyone clear into orbit around Pluto. Later that year, statues were erected in honor of Justin and Martha Century, and there they stood until the year 2069, when the sun went supernova, destroying the planet.
That was
My God.
great.
I can't wait to go to another fart party. Oh, wow.
Thanks for
Fart party, baby.
Oh, that was awesome.
You ready to get your fart holes rocked?
suck my glute, you alien cunt hole.
That's pretty brilliant there.
Great.
Joe. Nice job.
That was awesome.
Nice job to you.
Let's do a little post on here.
Oh, shit.
Jimmy, what did you say, Jimmy?
I added wieners.
Say wiener.
Wiener.
All right, we got that.
Dude, I love that. That was freaking great. No, that was awesome.
They're always very epic stories, though. Yeah.
The story, I mean, if you waited any shorter, you couldn't tell the story.
That's right.
It had to have all the elements.
I thought it was great. I didn't think it
A lot
was
of
too long at
nuance
all.
there.
You
Nice
have
job,
to kind
you
of know
two.
the movie to appreciate the stuff, I think. I know Jimmy hasn't seen that, but, well.
I can still appreciate the tale.
You got to see the movie.
All right, well, we used up 90 minutes of your time here. If you want to let us know what you got going on or anything you want to share with the world.
Well, this year up and coming with Vinegar Syndrome there's some incredible stuff coming. I wish I could tell you, but I can't. But it's stuff that's gonna knock your socks off. Really, really, really cool shit that I'm incredibly excited for. Pallbearer also has got some really sweet stuff coming up this year. Not just his shirts and things, some really awesome stuff. So really pay attention to what he's got going on. Any of the other boutique labels and stuff out there, like Severin. Severin is doing some really awesome stuff. Just everyone needs to pay attention to all these guys and keep these businesses going because we're all working our asses off. Yeah.
I didn't know if you had a friendly competition with Severin or what. So.
Oh, they're our buddies. Yeah, we love those guys, man. They're and we try to be that way with everybody. It's just better that way.
Right.
You know,
well, it makes sense.
They both complement each other, so you know.
Yeah, it's the best way to be. It's stupid to have any sort of rivalry, and you know we kind of get along with everybody, and it's such a small community, even though it seems like it's so big. But you just going to conventions, you see how small it is, and it's one big family, and it's just super fun, and doing stuff like this was a blast. I could honestly sit here and hang out for another 2 hours. So I really
You guys,
enjoyed
I
it.
mean, Vinegar's like, I mean, you guys are the trajectory is like amazing. You sort of these smaller films, and like, you know, with Censor and now Ticks, you've got Ticks, so it's like it's getting bigger and bigger every single week, and I love this. I love seeing this happen.
It's one of those things where it's like and you know, some of our customers don't like it, but you've got to keep moving with what's going on, or you're gonna fade away. And you know, if we just stuck to golden age porn, we'd never we'd still be 3 people working for the company, you know. But you just keep moving and grabbing. All we try to do, you know, at this point, the movie doesn't have to be a hidden gem from 1982. It could be
Right.
something from 1993, and it doesn't have to be a horror movie or porn anymore. You know, we keep finding out just
On a personal level, Monster Mania. Did you guys witness the full scenario when I knocked my drink over on the lobby and spilled everywhere?
no.
You were sitting right next to me. You were there.
Oh my God!
I was talking to John Wayne Gacy when it happened. Yeah, I was that guy.
I got a
Even
rape
though
shirt
I was
from
in
him.
Tennessee, and I could tell you were drunk. So
Yeah. Well, okay, so
Way to represent, Vinny.
but 2011, that convention, the girl peed all over the floor. That was beautiful. Yeah, I didn't do that more than once.
where's the video, man?
Yeah.
That was way back then.
Did you get one of his shirts, John Wayne Gacy shirts that say "I was
No.
raped by"? I had.
You know,
to
he
get
was
one.
very grabby when I took a picture with him. So yeah.
The guy's kind of terrifying, to be honest.
Well, the wedding party that showed up wanted to take a picture with him.
I thought John Wayne Gacy was dead. So this is at a convention.
Yeah, he keeps showing up at the convention.
Showing up.
Years ago,
dies.
I went to there was a shop in LA called You've Got Bad Taste. It was owned by Exene from the band X,
Oh, no way.
and she had 2 or 3 Gacy's there for sale behind the counter.
Nice.
And it was not that expensive. I just didn't have any money. I can't even imagine the value of those things right now.
Yeah, it used to be so easy to get his stuff, and a lot of the big heavy guys stuff, and now you can't even get envelopes with their names written on them. That's one of my hobbies, is writing to serial killers. I've been doing it since I was in high school.
Really?
And collecting their artwork. That's been like the big thing. Usually I'll write to them as if I'm a woman. That's the only way they'll write back usually.
Wow. That's
So,
good.
yeah. Richard Ramirez was my biggest pal. I started writing to him. Him and I were pen pals for about 8 years, up into his death. And he was a sick.
Did you ever figure out that you weren't a woman, or what? How'd that go?
Yeah, I wrote to as myself. That was one I just randomly wrote to one day, and I got a letter back from him, and he drew a little picture of Toucan Sam, and I couldn't figure. I was like, random, and then somebody said it. They're like, serial killer, get it, serial, and I was like, holy shit, he's actually funny. Yeah, that was my first piece of artwork.
Are we ever going to have a Jimmy's Cruddy Cuisine?
I don't know.
A Jimmy's
Let's
TikTok?
go to clips.
Are we going to have an exploding egg every week? How long can we do
don't
the
know.
exploding
I don't
egg
know.
before we just say, fuck this, we're done with
Get
Jimmy?
my shit together.
Get your shit together this week. You got 2 weeks or maybe a week. I don't know. Depends on how fast I jump on this.
There will be a video of some sort. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to make some food or if I'm going to do another TikTok, because I really like TikTok.
Your fan viewership is wondering what's going to happen. What about Vinny's Monster Minute? We have one of those?
Maybe.
Don't start pulling a
Let's
Jimmy.
go to the clip.
What's up, everybody? Okay, before I talk about this movie, I want to talk about something I think is rather hilarious in movies. It's called the FDF. What's an FDF? That is the fake dummy fall. You see these in a lot of movies, mostly low budget. It's when a person falls from a height and the camera's there and you just see it go down and lands, and it's an obvious dummy. Sometimes they try to hide it. A lot of times they don't, and it's pretty hilarious. I can think of 2 right now. We've seen one a couple weeks ago, and that is from Dr. Butcher, MD.
What's happened?
Yeah, the arm. It's just, do a second take? Nah, fuck it. Why should we? Okay, that's funny. But, God, man, my favorite of all time, it's got to be the very ending of Nightmare City, also known as City of the Walking Dead. You don't just get 1 fall, you get 2. Jesus fucking Christ. I've been watching that damn thing since '84, and I never stop laughing. Okay, alright, forget that. Alright, fine, the FDFs. If you've got some you've seen, let me know. Okay, I want to talk about this movie.
Hey there, everybody. This week's Earworm, we're going to celebrate
the birth of Lemmy. He was born December 24th, 1945. The real reason for Christmas. Gah. Now, it's impossible to highlight just a single Motorhead track, so I'm going to post a few of my favorites. Happy birthday, Lemmy. Miss ya. Cheers.
Well, it sounds like you got a really cool gig with a couple different things. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a blast, and I'm very lucky. I mean, I have to say, like, I couldn't be luckier than to have gotten in with these guys and to make it a career. You know, and my daughter works there now. You know, it's
Really?
my wife, my daughter, me, all three of us there. It's a big family. Couldn't be luckier to have that as my day job.
All right, weirdos, that's it for this week's edition of Living Cruddy. I've been your host, handsomest of all Jimmys. I want to thank the crummy chameleon Vinny for joining us again, our Lord and Savior Gino Royd Christ, and our guest this week, the amazing and talented Justin Tsantsa. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Yeah, thanks for hanging
much,
out with us.
really.
Yeah, awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. And someday, if I ever could do it again, I would love to come back on again because I had an absolute
no doubt.
blast. So yeah, this is great.
The door bursted open to reveal a monstrous 7-foot-tall spawn with 9 heads and 1,000 rotten teeth. Suck my glutes, you alien cunt holes!